What's going on, YouTube? It's Thomas L here, back with another top 10 video. In this week is the new comedy Happy Time Earth, which is pretty much a cop comedy if you look at it, where Melissa McCartney and the puppet pretty much are police detectives, and they try to find out who's murdering puppets and all. I'm so looking forward for Happy Time Earth. And of course, there's been lots of other funny cop comedies in the past. So, in honor, I decided to do my 10 favorite cop movie comedies ever of all time. At number 10 will be Super Troopers. I really love the Brooklyn Lizards gang. Super Troopers is a downright funny cop comedy. The sequel is also pretty funny too. Like, I believe the sequel got released on DVD last month, I believe. So if you want to check it out, definitely get it on DVD or check it out on Netflix or whatever, because it's hysterical. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Brooklyn Lizard Gang. Whether you're talking about Club Dread, Beer Fest. I really love when these guys do films. And the first Super Troopers came out in 2001, and I think it's still lots of people still enjoy it. It's a cult classic now. If you haven't seen the first Super Troopers or even the second one, check them out. I think you'll appreciate those. At number 9. At number 9, I got a spoof comedy on my list. And that will be the 1988 spoof comedy classic Naked Gun, which pretty much is a spoof of like the cop genre, and it stars Leslie Nielsen, including O.J. Simpson, like before the whole murder trial and all that. Naked Gun is a comedy classic. Before we had spoof films like the Scary Movie franchise and Disaster Movie and all that, we had Naked Gun. It's crazy how this film's turned 30 years old this year. Yeah, it turns 30 this December. Man, you really want to feel old? Like, here's what it's pretty much about. Police detective Frank must for an attempt to assassinate Queen Elizabeth. That's literally a plot. And it's hysterical. You also got like the late George Kennedy. Priscilla Presley is in this. Weird Al Yankovic. Such a comic classic. Leslie Nielsen, he was seriously one of the best when it came to spoof movies. Whether you talk about the Naked Gun films or Scary Movie 3, he was also in. Superhero movie he was in. Of course, Airplane. Leslie Nielsen was in more. Not all, but you know what I mean. The first Naked Gun is a classic. The sequels or whatever, but the first film, stick with. It's if you want to watch a funny spoof comedy from like the 80s, give Naked Gun a go. It's hysterical. Like, I don't think the humor in Naked Gun will probably hold up today, but I'll say still definitely give it a go. Number 8 will be Starsky and Hutch, the 2003 buddy cop comedy based on the classic TV show. This one, of course, was directed by Todd Phillips, who's also directing that Joker movie. You also got a buddy cop team up that has Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson as like the leads. This movie doesn't really get as much love as it should, but I think it should get more love. It's hysterical. I mean, come on, Snoop Dogg, Huggy Bear, maybe one of my favorite Snoop Dogg characters. And you also got, I mean, you got Vince Vaughn as the villain. Jason Bateman is in this. Will Ferrell. You even got Carmen Electra. Whew, loads of interesting supporting players. Even though I liked Zoolander 2 and all, I'm kind of one of the rare folks who didn't mind Zoolander 2. I would say I kind of wish Ben Stiller did a sequel to this instead. Unpopular opinion, I like Starsky and Hutch more than Zoolander. Yep, I said it. Don't get me wrong, I love Zoolander too. But Starsky and Hutch, to me, is a hoot. I mean, it's so funny. I think Stiller and Wilson has like a better chemistry in this than they did in Zoolander. I mean, if you haven't had a chance to check out Starsky and Hutch, the Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson one, do yourself a favor. Check it out. It's hysterical in every way. I mean, believe it or not, this is where I first knew what cocaine was. Like literally, I literally did not even knew what cocaine looked like until I actually saw this. I've probably seen other stuff with cocaine in it before, but there you go. But I can't say enough. Check out Starsky and Hutch. Like, instead of a sequel, I would be so much down to see a spin-off with just Snoop Dogg. I mean, Snoop Dogg as Huggy Bear. Awesome character. Anyway, at number 7 is the 2010 comedy The Other Guys, which of course was a buddy cop comedy that starred Will Ferrell, speaking of Ferrell, as well as Mark Wahlberg. This movie is hysterical. I mean, I really love the chemistry between Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. Adam McKay directed this. You also got the likes of Michael Keaton, Eva Mendes. Cool supporting cast. Like if you have, oh, and not to mention, there's a scene with Sam Jackson and Dwayne the Rock Johnson. I'm not gonna spoil it because I don't know how many people have seen The Other Guys, considering how underrated this movie is. But there's a scene with The Rock and Sam Jackson that had me going. Although I can't really say they should, but I will so much be down to see a movie with just The Rock and Sam Jackson because I really love those. I really love their parts in this. It was a big part, but yeah, I'm not gonna get into what their part was, like what happened to them or anything. But all I gotta say is check out The Other Guys. Like, Daddy's Home is cool, but I think Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg's chemistry in this is even better. All right, number 6 will be the 2007 British cop comedy Hot Fuzz, which was pretty much the second installment of the Cornello, I think that's how you pronounce it, Cornello trilogy, which of course paired up Simon Pegg and Nick Frost and was like directed by Edgar Wright. You even had Martin Freeman in this, Bill Nye. Such a funny film. I really love Simon Pegg and Nick Frost's chemistry. Every time they have a chemistry together, it doesn't even matter if it's a Cornello trilogy. They were even funny in together in that movie Paw. But I mean, whether you also talk about Shaun of the Dead or The World's End, these two work so much well together. I can't wait to see that horror comedy they're both in together. I forgot the name. Slaughterhouse Rules, I think it was called. But definitely, if you haven't seen Hot Fuzz, it's a really funny cop comedy. I think you'll probably really get a kick out of it. I'll be down to see a Hot Fuzz sequel down the line. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but hey, who knows? Maybe it will. At number 5 will be the 1990 comedy. Wait, I think it's 99. Check. Yeah, 1999 Arnold Schwarzenegger comedy Kindergarten Cop. I pretty much watch this movie every like all day. I mean, hey, Arnold Schwarzenegger as a kindergarten teacher. What more can you ask for? I mean, the line. This has some of the most quotable lines I've ever quoted from a movie. Shut up! Shut up! Awesome line. There's also boys have a penis, girls have a vagina. And Linda Hunt's line, what did it feel like to hit that son of a bitch? Some of my favorite lines are from this movie. I don't want to spoil all the lines because I don't know how many people have seen Kindergarten Cop. But dude, if you have not had a chance to check out Kindergarten Cop, do yourself a favor and watch it. It's hysterical. It's probably one of my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. Maybe probably my top five. I'll do a top 10 Arnold Schwarzenegger movie down the line whenever he has another film out. But I love this movie with a passion. You know, I could watch this movie whenever it's pretty much on. You know, it has everything. It has comedy. You know, it has action. Even has some heartfelt that even kids could enjoy. I can't say enough. Watch Kindergarten Cop. I think you'll have so much fun with it. And the film actually still holds up today. You know, it came out in 1990, and lots of people still know what Kindergarten Cop is. You know. Oh, and how great was Penelope Ann Miller in this? She's always a joy. And how great was Richard Tyson in this movie too? Some really good supporting cast surrounding this film, by the way. Oh, and Linda Hunt, I freaking love her in this. I mean, I will. Oh, I always wanted her as a principal. But anyway, check out Kindergarten Cop if you haven't. You'll definitely have a blast with it. At number 4 is Rush Hour, which of course was a buddy cop comedy that came out in 1998. My God, this movie turns 20 this year. Wow. Anyway, it came out in 1998, and it teamed up Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, which was pretty much the hype of their career. The Rush Hour movies I really enjoy. Like, they aren't like greatest films or anything, but they are such fun flicks to watch now. Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker had amazing chemistry in these things. All of them was also directed by Brett Ratner. They also had a great comedy, like great action. Like, definitely watch the Rush Hour movies. I heard rumors that like Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan might do another Rush Hour film, and I'm all for seeing a fourth for Rush Hour. I don't know about with Brett Ratner return because of the whole scandal thing, but we'll see what happens. If not Rush Hour 4, maybe I won't mind seeing Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker do something else down the line, like together, you know? Because those two has such good chemistry. Like Michael Kyle said from My Kids, you put Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, I mean, they beat the crap out of each other. You know, I love my wife and kids, by the way, but that's another topic for another day. Anyway, on to the next one. Number 3, 21 Jump Street. Another cop comedy here, which is pretty much based on a TV show. Of course, the original TV show was like a breakout role for Johnny Depp, and 21 Jump Street, and actually it's sequel as well. I could probably put both on here too, but 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street are both hysterical. I really, love the chemistry between Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum. I mean, the first one, they go back to high school, to find some dealers, and in the second one, they, go to college and, find dealers as well. So pretty much one, they go high school, and the other one go to college. It's hysterical in these things. And Ice Cube is just hysterical in these things, especially in the second one. I don't want to spoil, what happens in the second one because I don't know how many people. I'm sure a few good amount have seen the 21 Jump Street 22, but But I'm not gonna spoil much. But there's like a scene in 22 Jump Street where Channing Tatum finds out something about Ice Cube's character's daughter, and it's one of my all time favorite scenes in any of these films. The first one is also really good. Like, I mean, there are also two cameos in the first film. I don't really want to spoil what those cameos are. I mean, if you haven't seen 21 Jump Street by now, come on, what you waiting for? Part one and part two are both hysterical films. I mean, the first film we had like Brie Larson, she had a part in that. A few other people appeared in that one, and a few other people also appeared in the second one. I loved the Queen Latifah cameo. That took me out of surprise. But definitely 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street are downright fun. I'm still hoping Sony will go ahead and do a 23 Jump Street. They kind of teased that in part two, and part two made tons of money. So I say do another one, And I'm still not 100% sure if they're going to go true with that Men in Black 21 Jump Street. If you guys heard about that news down the line, like before, about Sony wanting to work on a 21, like a spin-off film that will have 21 Jump Street with Men in Black. That was seriously the dumbest idea I've ever heard. It happened mainly because of the Sony leaks, and I don't think that. I think that project died. Like even Jonah Hill actually said that project is dead. So we're definitely not gonna see that. Anyway, on to the next one. At number 2 will be a classic, and that is Police Academy, baby. The first one, that is. Like, the sequels after this, after Police Academy, part 2 was okay, but the ones after this were just stupid, like laughable bad. Like, Police Academies are why studios stopped doing sequel after sequel to comics. Like, you just stop at 3 and maybe that's it, or stop at 4, maybe that's it. That's why that's probably why the Hangover didn't end with part 4, part 5, and all that. But the first Police Academy, it's a hoot. You got Steve Guttenberg in there, who was pretty much at the hype of his career back in the days. This is a really funny cop comedy. I mean, you also got like the likes of Kim Cattrall before Sex and City, by the way. For all you football fans, Bubba Smith was in this. Even Michael Winslow. For all you Spaceball fans. Like Naked Gun, I think Police Academy is another 80s comedy cop film that really still holds up today. The first one, of course, the sequel is not. I also heard like they're supposed to be doing a remake. I think he and Peele were like rumored to like write the script, but it never got off the ground. I got I'll be down to see another Police Academy because these comedies are just hysterical. Well, the first one I meant, but you know what I mean. If you still haven't seen Police Academy, treat yourself. It's a hysterical comedy. And there's some stuff in there that's pretty quotable that you could probably be able to quote. But that's just awesome. Police Academy, that's life. Definitely give the first Police Academy a go. I think you'll appreciate it. And at number 1 is Beverly Hills Cop, the classic 1984 comedy that pretty much was a breakout vehicle for Eddie Murphy. That's right, Eddie Murphy loved him as Axel Foley. There was also part two and part three, which I also dug. I know lots of people crap on. I meant part three isn't as good as part one and two. I still found it enjoyable. I know lots of people crap on the other Beverly Hills Cop films, but I don't mind them. I find them pretty funny. Also in this, Eddie Murphy, his buddy film, like his buddy cop in this is pretty much Judge Reinhold, who was also the hype of his career with, Fast Times at Ridgemont High in the 80s and all that. This is pure 80s fun. Tons of good 80s style action, like 80s humor. You know it's an 80s movie when you're watching this. I still I'm still hoping they go ahead and do a Beverly Hills Cop 4 that I know Eddie Murphy's supposedly returning for, but they've been talking about Beverly Hills Cop 4 like seems like forever, so I still have no idea if it's getting off the ground. Heck, the guys who are directing Beverly Hills Cop 4, who are supposed to direct it, are also directing Bad Boys 3 with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, which I was gonna put on my list on this top 10, but I'm still unconvinced if that's like a full-on cop comedy. I mean, there's like humor in the Bad Boys franchise, but it's like not full-on comedy. I still always have a debate if it's like a full-on comedy or. That's why I don't have Lethal Weapon on this list, because I'm still on the fence to really call it a full-on comedy. Anyway, back to Beverly Hills Cop. If you guys still haven't seen Beverly Hills Cop, what are you waiting for? It's pretty old, actually. I think you'll probably appreciate it, and you'll see like old Eddie Murphy. I still like some of the stuff they did, most of the stuff like they did recently, but Beverly Hills Cop was pretty much at the height of Murphy's career. He started with 48 Hours. You also had Trading Places. Eddie Murphy was also on SNL. Before Eddie Murphy became like popular in the 90s and all that, he was more popular in the 80s. I still wish Eddie Murphy would make some sort of major comeback. I hope this like Netflix film that Eddie Murphy is in. Forgot the name. I think it's called My Name Is Dynamite. I hope that film he's in. I hope that will be a major comeback for Eddie Murphy, because that guy needs it. Eddie Murphy is pretty much still hilarious. Like I've seen him in like recent interviews. I think he was on Jimmy Kimmel, and he still has it. But man, seeing him back as Axel Foley, that thing will actually make my day. Anyway, I went pretty long with that. All right, let me go down the list now. Number 10, Super Troopers. 9, Naked Gun. 8, Starsky and Hutch. 7, The Other Guys. 8, Hot Fuzz. 5, Kindergarten Cop. 4, Rush Hour. 3, 21 Jump Street. 2, Police Academy. And number 1, Beverly Hills Cop. That's pretty much all. There's probably a few that I pretty much missed out, most likely. So, what's your favorite cop comedy? Do you have a favorite? Which buddy cop comedy not buddy cop, but which cop comedy period that's not on my list that you probably would have added? You know, uh, Leave your comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. And remember, Happy Time Murders will be hitting theirs this Friday. Technically tomorrow night, but the actual release date is Friday. Anyway, this is Thomas L. signing off.